afternoon, South London High School. I'm Emily Fagan.
And I'm Josh Logston, and we're here with Storm News.
Today's Thursday, November 10th, and we will be covering a wide variety of topics.
Here are the latest on veteran memorials, vandalism, and Marine graduations.
And more along with sports and weather from the rest of our crew.
Storm News starts
right now.
With this Friday being Veterans Day, our neighboring towns have different places to represent our soldiers who have passed.
Johnny has more on the story.
On November 11th, we celebrate Veterans Day, a day dedicated to honoring those who have fought for our nation. Tina Pamonti, a former Air Force Combat Communications officer, had this to say about the day's significance.
We as a community should care about Veterans Day because our rights are directly correlated with those that have fought for those rights. Most families, if you look back far enough, have some form of military person in their family tree.
Located at Stearns and South Bartlett Road, the Bartlett Veterans Memorial Brick Program provides a special opportunity to show support of our nation's veterans while leaving a personal, permanent memorial honoring families, organizations, friends, businesses, and individuals. To find out more or to donate, go to bartlettveteransmemorial.com.
So if you're out and about and you happen to see a veteran, make sure that you thank them for their service. For Storm News, I'm Johnny Varsman.
Not only do we share remembrance, but we also welcome the recently graduated Marines.
Someone who shares the respect is Andrea, who has a brother who's just recently graduated from Marine basic training.
All right, all right, all right, all right.
The United States Marine Corps is a branch of the armed forces that acts upon premier crisis response. This armed force is made up of men and women ages 17 through 28, and in order to enlist, you have to have a high school diploma and be a legal U.S. resident. Before you become an actual Marine, you go through boot camp, which is a series of 4 phases that push the young men and women from civilians to Marines. I was able to sit down and talk with my brother Daniel Vandalism, who recently just graduated Marine boot camp, and asked him about what he felt during these 4 phases.
What I thought throughout the whole 4 phases was I was just trying to get through one day at a time and really one phase at a time.
At the end of the 4 phases, the recruits face the hardest challenge called the Crucible.
The Crucible is a 54-hour field event that tests a recruit trying to become a Marine. It tests their mental and physical strength and tries to push them to their absolute limit.
After accomplishing the Crucible, the recruits are now considered Marines and are able to graduate boot camp. This Veterans Day, don't forget to say thank you to any veteran you know for putting their physical and mental strength to the test. I'm Andrea Bundalian, and this is Storm News.
Thank you, Andrea. Let's hand it over to Alyssa with the weather.
Good morning, evening, or even night. The weather has been quite hectic these past couple weeks, and I don't know about any of you watching, but thanks to the weather jumping from 70 to as low as 30, my sniffling has yet to go away. Let's get on with today's forecast. Today we are looking at sunny skies with a high of 70, so I highly recommend getting outside. This might be our last summer day. Tomorrow, we are looking at cloudy skies with a high of 56 and a low of 30. Getting into the weekend, you can expect high 30s and mid-20s. The fall weather everyone has been waiting for, so please do not forget to bundle up. All of next week, sadly, the sun will be hiding from us, so temperatures will range from the mid-20s to 40s. But thank goodness, it will only be partly cloudy on Thursday, so that's a relief. I'm Melissa Rothenberg, and I think it's time to hand it back to Josh.
As we're transitioning our football season, we have more on winter sports coming up.
Kyle has more on sports.
This weekend, the Houston Cheating Astros won the World Series, beating the Philadelphia Phillies 4-1, with Jeremy Pena winning the Finals MVP of the series. On Friday, our South Ocean Storm lost their second-round playoff game to Maine South. With the NBA in its early stages, the Chicago Bulls are sixth in the Eastern Conference with a record of 5-6, with DeMar DeRozan finishing the Bulls with leading the Bulls in points and assists. Don't look now, but the Bears are currently second in their division and are one way away from being in the playoff picture. And sophomore Justin Fields had himself a day in the 35-32 loss to the Dolphins. 4 total touchdowns and breaking the rushing record by a quarterback with 178 yards.
Thanks for the update. As most students know, vandalism has become a big problem at our school. Emily and Shannon have more on the topic.
Everyone has heard about the vandalism that happened during football season, but no one understands the process the staff has to go through when cleaning it up. After talking to Dr. Johansson, he informed us about the procedure when vandalism occurs throughout the whole school.
It's through supervision, right, and continuously checking, specifically our bathrooms, making sure our dean's assistants are monitoring every passing period, and then once we see it, making sure it comes down right away.
After last year's problem, the staff became more familiar with the targeted areas and possible reasons to this problem.
You know, I think back, if everybody took ownership over the building the same way they take ownership over their own home or their property, we wouldn't have these issues. So I think it comes back to building a sense and creating a sense of belonging in the building to make sure all of our students feel connected.
We will see if his plan continues throughout the year. This is Emily and Shannon for Storm News.
Glad the problem has gotten better since last year.
Thank you to everyone for watching our broadcast today.
Once again, I'm Emily Fagan.
I'm Josh Logston, and this has been Storm News.